Number 2, we have y equals negative x plus 5 minus 5. So we're still going to use this as our original. Our negative multiplies y by negative 1. This subtracts from y. This part subtracts from x. So we got x minus 5. So that gives us negative 7, negative 6, negative 5, negative 4, negative 3. The y has two things happening. It has multiplication of a negative 1, and it has subtraction of 5. Since it's y, you do order of operations in the same order, in the correct order. So order of operations would say multiplication first, so multiply by negative 1, and then subtract 5. So negative 1 times negative 2 is, negative 1 times 2 is, minus 5 is, negative 1 times 1 is negative 1, minus 5 is negative 6. Negative 1 times 0, 0, minus 5 is negative 5. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1, minus 5 is negative 6. Negative 2 times negative 1 is negative 2, minus 5 is negative 7. If x had more than one thing going on, if we say, for example, we needed to multiply x by something, and we also needed to subtract, you would do order of operations backwards. So you would subtract and then multiply. Since it's x, it's all jacked up. It's kind of like your inverse. You're going to do the opposite of what you normally would do. Yeah. Any other questions? All right.
Can we do one of the multiplying ones on the back?
Yeah.
It's doing these equations.
Okay. So let's look at Q on the back. It has f of x times g of x. This is not fog. This is not Goff. Notice the difference between A through L and Q and R. Okay. If it was fog or Goff, it would have f of g. Notice the difference. This is a filled in. That is not. Okay. So, when we do f of x, we got 6x plus 1. And g of x is 3x squared plus 5x. So what do we do here? You do the box, area model. So 6x plus 1, 3x squared, and 5x. So you get 18x cubed, 3x squared, 30x squared, and 5x. So combine like terms if there are any. We got x cubed, 18 of them. We have x squared, and there's 33 of those. And we have an x, and there's 5 of those. There's your answers. This will be a different answer than what you get in A, which A is fog. Some of you tried to do this on your composition worksheet or quiz. You tried to multiply all of them rather than plugging them in, so watch that. Would you like me to do letter A so you can see the difference?
Yep.
Letter A is f of g of x, which is the same as fog. So it wants us to put g of x into f. So g of x is 3x squared plus 5x. It wants us to put that into the f equation everywhere you see an x. So in the f equation, it is 6x plus 1. We're going to take 6 times this value for x plus 1. So we distribute here. There's no area model needed since it's one term. You get 18x squared plus 5, not 5x. How many x?
30.
Plus 1. Questions? Two different answers.
What about S and T subtracting?
Sorry. So subtracting f from g. Okay. So f of x minus g of x. This is letter S. F of x was 6x plus 1. So we're going to go 6x plus 1 minus g of x, which is 3x squared plus 5x. Subtract like terms, or distribute your negative if you want. So you can rewrite it as 6x plus 1 minus 3x squared minus 5x. So if we combine like terms, we have 6x and negative 5x make plus 1 minus 3x squared. And if you like to do order by power, you could have negative 3x squared plus x plus 1 if you want to do descending order. Do what, sweetie? Any other questions?
Do you want to be the first one?
Let's dig that out.
Sure. All right. So letter N. Is that okay? It wants the inverse of x, or of f, excuse me. So the original equation for f is 6x plus 1. So our first step is to switch x and y. Solve for y. Divide by 6. Denote your inverse. Nope. Any other questions? Hallie? Any other questions?